On our way to the office, we get another Papers, Please scene. This time we're called Hanser and Clank. As you can see, the police love their jobs.
Centro, confirm a BH847. You must have some kind of super weapon under the hood.
Now that comment was confusing, though relevant for a conversation we'll have later. We enter a shop filled with boxes, find a secret button in the back, and conspicuously enter another downward elevator. Here's hoping no one noticed us.
You're heading into TF-29 already?
Our enemies aren't waiting around while we lick our wounds.
Fair enough. There'll be a data port on the NSN's motherboard. Access it and then just plug and play.
Alright, there was that subplot I almost forgot about. You see how every plot neatly fits together, or works together at least? And of course, even though we're in this super military base, we go crawling through the air ducts, because this is Deus Ex Tactical Air Duct Espionage. And we speak to Arya.
The bombing really freaked him out. Third one in 6 months, can you believe it? I'm really glad you're okay.
Okay, finally we have a definitive answer to the question of how common the bombings are. This now makes us suspect Seraph's reaction to calling us out of the blue. The bombings are commonplace, but not a weekly event, more like one every 2 months. Thus we can deduce that Seraph has an ulterior motive. This harkens back to the start of human revolution, where it was discovered at least one of our healthy limbs was amputated, all for the sake of giving Adam fully augmented arms and legs. We never really got to address that with Seraph, and now we have more reason to suspect him of something, starting with our recovery from the Panchaea Aug incident, as well as these new hidden augments. With Aaron Singh's lip syncing and the random and quick gesticulating, it looks like we're watching a Chinese puppet movie from the 80s, but it still feels we're in some serious undercover military operation. Anyway, we speculate with our Interpol agent about who those masked guys were that attacked us in Dubai, while he goes back to infiltrate the Jinn.
Military-grade augmentation. Enough to build another couple of you. That is a joke.
Right. It's the world we live in. Anyone with an exemption to the weaponized augment ban is a useful tool. Or a terrorist.
And here we understand the previous Papers, Please scene. Adam Jensen is an exemption to this weaponized augment ban and is thus seen as a useful tool to governments, enough for common police to know he's dangerous. You see? The questions that have been raised have now been answered. This is very good exposition. As soon as we end up putting in the whisper chip, we get called into Miller's office. He assigns us to investigating who accomplished the train bombing we survived.
Whoever planted those bombs yesterday has a lot to answer for.
Agreed.
Yesterday? Didn't we wake up in bed after the bombing 30 hours later? Didn't we also go see Purple Rain Man and get put under for a bit? It's been more than 30 hours now. Maybe Jensen's digital clock needs a resync.
And we have to find out who they are before the state police fuck up our crime scene.
Okay, here's another question raised. Why would the police screw up the crime scene?
You said they're trying to push us out?
I sent Fletcher in this morning to oversee evidence collection. Seems he's being detained.
Plot thickens. I'm glad to see Mankind Divided is answering its own questions as they are raised. This still doesn't effectively answer the question of why the police are going to be screwing up the crime scene, but does tell us that there is conflict and friction involved between the police and Interpol. This also kind of validates Adam's purpose to go on this role, even though a previous officer was already assigned to it. There's something special about Adam, and maybe he can use some of his augs to get past those problems. Or he'll just crawl around the ducks. I'm guessing as the ducks.
So how do I get to Ruzicka? Public transportation's not stopping there.
It will for you once I make a phone call. Head to the metro and call me when you're there. Good luck, Agent.
The metro isn't what the city needs, but it's the transportation I deserve. Because apparently we can't afford a car. So we've gone from discovering we've got hidden augs built into our system, we have good reason to talk to Seraph and call him out on his fake concern for us, and now we're going into the Interpol train bombing investigation. The story is doing a fairly decent job of fixing itself as the holes in questions pop up, and things are going rather smoothly. Combined with some cool music and a base of operations, this is looking like a very slick game production. Aside from the crazy gesticulations and bad lip syncing, things are sounding and looking very good.